guys, what's up? Zach back here again today for Down South Racing, and I don't know if y'all been keeping up with me on Instagram, guys, but basically I haven't posted a whole lot of YouTube videos here lately, but I've been kind of hinting at some big stuff coming along, and today I kind of want to reveal the first part of my big stuff coming along. This is something that I've actually had for a little while. It's something I really enjoy. I will give you all a chance to comment down below right now. Let me know what you think it is. It is a vehicle of sort, but it's not maybe your typical what you're thinking. So, but I'm going to do a little review on it today, a little owner's review. I've had it for probably right at a month now. I've got about 500 miles on it, and I've done some modifications and stuff, and I'll go over all of that with you all. But I want to continue making videos like this. It's something that I really enjoy. If you all like it, if not, maybe I'll throw one in every now and then. But I mean, if you all like it, I mean, I'd love to go out and do more stuff like this. But I guess, guys, without further ado, here is my 2019 or 2020, actually. I'm not even sure on that. I need to look, but my 2019 or 20 Honda Talon 1000R. And so this vehicle has been out for probably about 2 months. We got ours 3 or so weeks after they came out. We were actually the first people around here to have one, and as you can see, it's not 100% stock, but basically this is Honda's Razor and Can-Am Maverick fighter. And so this is the R version. This is the wider and longer version. As you can see, it is hella wide. It's actually 68.4 inches wide, so 68.5 for better whatever. But stock, all they really have on them is like a little bull bar right here on the front that only goes to like this right here, and it's black. So AED Off-Road Fabrication in Corbin, Kentucky, David Valentine made us some custom bumpers and rock sliders. So you can see those are what you call rock sliders. They attach down here on the frame, and then a rear bumper with a hitch receiver as well. And so this is something I'm really excited about. The only other things we've done so far are this is how we got it, though. Actually, we spec'd this from the dealer with the lower doors, which are the black piece you see here. And so you can see that if I open the door here, it's this piece right here. So they attach up in here. Put those on. We got a front windshield and a back windshield. The car actually comes with a roof stock, and so after that, recently we've added a light bar. It actually is color changing. It does a bunch of different colors, and it is obviously a light bar as well for LED. And we added a CB radio with an antenna. CB hanging up in there, a little padding to keep it from rattling, because we like to go riding here in the mountains of Kentucky, Tennessee. We go a few different places, and one of the few places or ways to get communication out through there is a CB radio, because phone service is very minimal. But I guess, guys, I'll introduce some of the specs to you right here, and then we will take it for a drive. So like I said, guys, this is Honda's Razor and Can-Am fighter. I know a lot of people were probably hoping for a turbo model, but I do more trail riding than anything, than desert running, so a turbo is not a necessity for me. It would have been cool to have one, and we actually were looking at some turbo Razors and Can-Am Maverick. We just like the fact that this is the biggest feature on this one. It has a 6-speed dual clutch transmission. So that means it is direct drive. There is no belt, no nothing that can tear. We had a Razor before, went through like 4 or 5 belts and like 1,200 miles. So, not crazy bad, but just, never really had any problems. It just seemed to shred the belts. So this right here being a 6-speed dual clutch transmission, it has automatic and manual shift modes. I'll show you all right here. Also forgot to mention a minute ago, guys, put these mirrors on, and that's literally the only other mod. But anyways, you can see the cart has paddle shifters, minus and plus, and over here is how you actually change that. So the car will, if you just put it into high or low, it will go into automatic as soon as you start it up. If you would like to go into manual mode, you just press that button right there, AT/MT, obviously automatic transmission/manual transmission, and then you have full control over the paddles, and there are 6 gears for you to play with. In high gear, the car goes 75 miles an hour or so. It seems to stutter between 74 and 75 at a limiter. In low, it goes 53 or 54 at the kind of same style of limiter. It has a waterproof little glove box over there, and these are my favorite feature of the entire car. The most comfortable seats, at least for me, being so tall, in any side-by-side I have ever ridden in. They are very well bolstered and padded, and they just feel really good to the touch. Something else cool, though, in high gear, you actually can put it in sport mode. So that's the same as like my Mustang. It will hold the gears, and it'll actually rev match downshift and stuff like that. So it makes it a lot of fun. Something else I really like about the car, if you don't like a flip down windshield, Honda gives you that right there. So this actually will allow air to pass in, one for the passenger, one for the driver. And it's actually a really cool little feature. It gets a lot more air than you expect, because these machines actually do tend to run fairly hot, and that's just kind of the fact of it, because you basically sit on top of the motor. Something else that I'm a fan of, this has nets that go all the way up past your face. So this has prevented me from getting whacked in the face with briars and branches and everything else so many more times than the RZR we had previously only had the lower half doors. So that is a simple solution to a fairly big problem of, you know, getting hurt, or, you know, even worse, you could hurt your eyeball and be, you know, down for the count. But, you know, onto its continued specs. The Talon has Fox Racing shocks. They are 2.5 series, and the cool thing about these is that they have only 3 settings. I don't even know if it will be able to see, but yeah, so right there's your clicker, and you have 3 settings, 1 obviously being the softest, 2 middle, 3 firmest. But this cart actually, something I didn't know until recently, has no front anti-roll bar, and you can see there is literally no front anti-roll bar. But again, you know, the typical double wishbone A-arm suspension up front with a little bit over 17 inches of travel. Out back, had the same shocks, the same 3-way adjustability, and you have Honda's 4+ link trailing arm suspension with about 20 inches of travel out back. And again, you know, like I said, same thing right here. And they call it a 4+ because obviously your trailing arm is your first one, and then you have 1, 2 bars, and you have the 4th bar right here, but it's actually connected up through there as well. So I assume it's technically a 5-link, but I don't believe it would be what considered a true 5-link, because you would basically have like another bar right through there. So they call it their like 4+ system. This thing, guys, this is the R version, so it is 68.5 inches wide and has a 5-inch longer wheelbase than the 64-inch wide Model X. And let me tell you all, guys, this thing is unbelievably smooth in rough terrain, and I am super impressed with it, honestly. So let's go over that. So something else you all will notice, the tires are not unbelievably large like some of the manufacturers are going with nowadays. They're just 28-inch tall tires. They're Maxxis Bighorn tires. They seem to do great for what this thing, you know, what I use. I'm sure a 32-inch tire is a lot better, you know, maybe out in the sand and stuff like that. But for the trails that I ride, you know, you just really can't beat this thing. It has Honda's largest radiator ever put on a side-by-side or, you know, sport utility vehicle that they sell. Out back, or up front, sorry, and then out back it has dual inlets for on either side, and it even has stuff up here for your airbox, I believe is where that goes in. But somewhere or another, one of these is like a transmission cooler, and one of them is actually goes straight into the airbox. Obviously the same thing on the other side. I am not 100% sure on there. I can maybe look it up and throw it in the video, but it's got super lightweight aluminum wheels, guys. They're 15-inch rims, and I think they look actually really sick. So, but I mean, I guess let's start it up and I'll show you all the little dash, and let's take this thing for a ride. So for you guys like me who are taller or bigger, you do have a telescoping steering wheel. Or no, I guess it would not be, just be a tilting steering wheel. Sorry for the misuse of that word. And you also have an adjustable seat down here that you can slide forward. But basically, guys, unlike a RZR, you can just start this thing up without your foot on the brake. So you can just start it up. And you will note that this has a deeper sound than a RZR. It's very, you know, distinct from Honda. But you have all your little displays and stuff up here. Your odometer, your time, obviously your revs and your mile an hour, and then what year you're in. Something cool about this one, it will not let you go over 13 miles per hour actually. Let me turn it off so you can hear me better. Without your seatbelt on, so you know it's a nice safety feature. And I'll show you all what it sounds like. It literally sounds like a 2-step. It's almost like comical. But I am in love with this cart, guys. You know, like I said, I'm 6'6", and I have plenty of leg room. Good, you know, little like left foot rest right there. You know, again, full lower half doors, so nothing really can't come up through there. And then, you know, you get your net up, plug that or hook that up here. Sorry, it's hard to do in one hand, but I mean, you know, you have full side protection pretty much. So, you know, like I said, I am really impressed with this thing. You got a good clear view out the front, and it doesn't sling mud awfully bad because it does have pretty wide fenders. But something I am going to get soon is some, you know, extended little mud guards for the side, because it does throw it up and hit you relatively easy if you are not careful. All right, guys, so back to that engine here real quick. It is a 999cc, so, you know, 1000 series machine, for lack of a better term. Liquid-cooled V-twin, and it produces 104 horsepower. But the cool thing about this is where it's not belt-driven, it's a DCT, it should theoretically lose less power to the ground. And something that Honda is very, you know, adamant about is that they have stronger axles than the competition. So I've been putting that to the test, guys, and I haven't had any issues yet. But the car feels fast. I mean, I think Side-by-Side blog, if you all watch them, tested it at like 0 to 60 in the low 6s, maybe like 6 flat range, and like a RZR Turbo S and Can-Am Maverick are in like the low to mid 5 range, like 5.2, 5.3, something like that. So I mean, not very far behind the competition, but I do believe, you know, after that 50 to 60 mile per hour mark, that those machines will leave this in the dust. But this is faster from the videos I have seen than a normal Razor 1000. I have not seen it against anything else, but the DCT is lightning quick, guys. It cracks off super fast shifts, and they're very crisp. Downshifts are the same way. Very awesome. And I guess let me let you all hear it from the outside, because it is a pretty distinct tone. So let's do that. So there you go, guys. I mean, you know, it sounds about like a real little V-twin. It is, you know, muffled fairly decently with that factory exhaust. Thought about getting a new one, but, you know, maybe not. I'm not sure. But it sounds good in my opinion, and, you know, it sounds really good when you're ripping it. It's very deep, and it's cool to hear it go through the gears. So, you know, I'll let y'all hear it. Let's go for a drive, and maybe we'll talk about some other. All right, guys, so let's listen to it like what it sounds like when it stutters down. You can hear it, but if you go full throttle, it sounds just like a two-step. Alright guys, I don't know how y'all be able to hear me, but I'm going to try to talk as loud as I can. But basically I'm just going to drive down the road right here and give you all a little, maybe like a quick little top speed run. Then we'll take it down a gravel road, and I'll talk a little bit about the handling. Then we'll go through a little bit of a muddy trail, maybe up a mountain, and I'll talk to you all a little bit more about the suspension and stuff like that, and how the engine and drivetrain work, the brakes, everything like that. So here we go. Alright guys, here's going to be a little launch. It's just an automatic, and I'm just going to floor it in two-wheel drive. As you all could hopefully see right there, we hit 74, 75 miles an hour pretty quick. Cart runs pretty good, guys. So I mean, you know, that's two-wheel drive, high, automatic sport. I mean, it just honestly, you can't really give it throttle because there's no launch control and it's DCT, but it just goes once you hit it. All right, guys, now we're gonna do low four-wheel drive, put it back in automatic, and just watch this thing shift. It's unreal. It goes 0 to 54 in a hurry, guys, but I mean, I'll put it back in high right here, and I'll put it back in manual and let y'all watch me work the paddles for just a second. But I mean, they're really responsive. On the brakes. And that's just barely getting on them, guys. The brakes have a little bit of a weird feel. You have to press down a couple inches, but once you get on them, they are very, very strong. I believe there are two pistons at all corners, so like 250 millimeter vented discs. So, you know, they do well. But the paddles, guys, are super responsive. I mean, it's what you expect from a dual clutch, and that's what you get. Transmission is great, guys. The engine's great. Don't have any complaints there. Really great mid-range torque, so you get moving in a hurry. I don't know how well you guys can hear me as I run through a giant bump, but at 30 miles an hour here in 6th gear, we're just turning 3,000 RPM. See if you can see that right there? And you really don't have to talk loud to talk to your passenger. Obviously, if you can tell, I'm yelling so you all can hear me because GoPro audio sucks. But it's really nice, guys, being able to control your gears at speeds that you go through the woods at, you know, 30 miles an hour and below. How much fun this is, just launching it all out, first gear, manual mode. Woo! Something you'll see here is the car rolls really hard in the front because it does not have a front sway bar, but I mean, it will still, you know, go around in a hurry. Maybe not. Honda has their four-wheel drive system. It's called four-wheel drive. It basically sends power to both front wheels when needed, and it's honestly pretty great. So I mean, we'll go up through here just a little bit, but I mean, literally you can just crawl. It's, you know, there's no slip at all. The tires grip well. I mean, even though they're only 28s, you just put it in whatever gear you want it to be in and just let it go. All right, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. If I was to have missed something, you just comment down below, let me know. If there's something, you know, I said incorrectly, let me know. But I did, you know, obviously fact check myself, and so I believe I'm almost positive I'm about right on everything. I think one thing I forgot to mention was wheelbase. It's 92.7 inches. Ground clearance is, I believe, 13.5 or 14 inches, but I'm not 100% sure. It's probably a little bit lower due to the smaller tires, but you know, it's not a big deal by any means. It seems to go over everything with pretty much tremendous ease. So that's about all you can ask out of a side-by-side. And guys, it's just super fun to drive. The paddles make it very engaging for, you know, a quote-unquote car guy like myself. I know, you know, you can't be, everybody's like, oh, manual or, you know, die, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, this is really fun. It's very different if you are a avid side-by-side user. And it's very intuitive, and, you know, you can learn it very easily. But, guys, I love it. And, you know, they're priced fairly good at, you know, $21,000 for this one and $20,000 for the X model, the more narrow and shorter one with a little less suspension, but they have the same transmission and engine. So, you know, if you think that more suits you, then by all means, you know, get that. It's a little bit cheaper. We got a good deal on this from Lexington Motorsports in Lexington, Kentucky. Hit them up, tell them I sent you all, and hopefully they can give you the same deal, guys. But honestly, that's probably going to wrap this up for this video right here. I know I've drug it out forever, but I want to do, you know, a pretty good review for you guys. So let me know, like I said, guys, if you want to see more stuff like this, and if so, you know, I'd love to do it. You know, I'd love, if there's people out there that want to link up and ride, I'd love to. I can travel, you know, wherever. We have some good places around here, and, you know, there's some good places just south of me in Tennessee, and so I'm down for whatever, guys. You know, one last thing, the vehicle, if you don't know, I'm sure you do if you're clicking on this video, it does have LED headlights, and they are low-end high beam. And then I want to say this is a 40-inch light bar. It's like, you know, basically bolting a small sun to the front of your vehicle. It's, you know, very, very, very bright in the woods and such. But, you know, the cart does good, guys. You know, out of 10, I would say definitely a solid 8.5 or 9. One little thing I would fix personally is maybe throttle response, but it's more so the engagement of the DCT than anything, and maybe the brake feel just a tad. I would bring the firmness of the pedal up just, you know, 20-30%, so that way the engagement is much smoother. You don't have to press it down. You don't have to worry as bad. You know, other than that, guys, you know, I'm not necessarily mad at all if the thing doesn't have a turbo motor. I'm sure that's coming at some point. I know they're offering like a, sorry, there's bugs all over me. That's why I keep moving, but some company that partners with Honda is already offering a kit, and they're coming out the 4-seater next year and a live valve version of the X. I don't know why not the R, but that's going to have launch control and then like the live valve Fox shock. So, you know, I'm excited to see all that for sure. And once we see that, maybe we will get to go out and test one. I'd love to maybe even start doing reviews on side-by-sides. So, like I said, guys, you know, hit me up. And if you all want to get together, I'd be more than happy to. But until next time, guys, just appreciate y'all watching and appreciate the continued support. Check out the last video I made about the roll racing versus dig racing for all you car guys, if you haven't watched it already, if you're clicking on this. And, you know, feel free to browse the channel, guys. Once again, just thank you all for continued support. Drop this thumbs up if you liked it. If not, tell me why down below in the comments. And if you did like it, comment down below and tell me why that as well. But guys, until next time, this is Zach signing off for Down South Racing. Peace out. Catch y'all later.